I'm Jared. My lovely wife Kara is just around the corner. Let me pull this up. Just so everybody knows, I'm not monetizing this video, so you should not get any ads for anybody who watches it later. It still allows, hey Amy, happy Halloween. Not sure how many people are going to show up tonight because it is Halloween, and I understand that, but I didn't want to miss the live. What's up, me with knives? What's up, Jason? But yeah, I know it's Halloween, and I know I'm sure a lot of people are probably busy with their kids or whatever, but happy Halloween, Game Geek. Tito, Berg Knife. How is everybody doing for Halloween? I think I don't know if we already did or if we're gonna wind up shutting down again, but I think they're shutting Illinois down again. So I don't even think any kids are out trick-or-treating or anything. I'm not sure how it goes, to be honest. I don't have any kids, so I don't know. Let me turn this just a little bit this way. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Hey, and Don, happy Halloween. Let a few people get in here. Kids are trick-or-treating in my town. Are they? Awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's going on here. I haven't seen any. And we live in a subdivision, so it's, but like I said, I don't know. I don't have any kids, so I don't have to take them out. But I heard about some weird things that other states were doing, like California. Like I heard about some weird car thing where like people could like give candy out of their cars or something. I don't know. I don't want to spread some misinformation, but I heard some weird stuff like that. And I remember when I was a kid, that was the last person you went and got candy from. Going and getting candy out of the trunk of someone's car. Public service announcement. 20% off all Kubi knives. Just snagged an Atlas for 137. Berg knife. That's awesome because that new Jelly Jerry knife by Kubi, that thing looks awesome. LTK, love them knives. He just reviewed one and he made it seem like it's really, really good. And he's tried a bunch of Jelly Jerry designs. And he's even got my favorite one, which is the TwoSun TS 223. And he says it's his best yet. Ah, man, don't bust me out on the costume. We almost got costumes, but we didn't wind up doing it. Maybe next year. We were really close to carving a pumpkin or wearing a costume or something like that, but like I said, I wasn't even sure if anybody was going to show up because it's Halloween, so now I'm kind of regretting not at least throwing a mustache or something on. I don't know. Got any Halloween-themed knives for us, Jared? Well, I don't know what you would consider Halloween-themed if you're thinking like a orange knife or if you're thinking like a big knife. This is a big knife. Or, I don't know what Halloween themed would be, like murderous? I guess that could be maybe a Halloween themed knife. But then again, I think Halloween themed, me personally, when I think Halloween themed, I think fixed blade, right? I think, maybe, something more like that. This is the Mike Emler Stonefish made by We. I also got a whole bunch of amazing fixed blades from Timbo. This is a custom one. This one's by LT Wright. A lot of people gave me some a few people gave me some information. One in particular gave me a lot of information. Thank you, Jesse, on LT Wright knives. This thing's fit and finish is amazing. This has the best edge I've ever felt on a fixed blade that I didn't put an edge on. Seems logical. If I was allowed to carry them, I would be carrying fixed blades more often. Yeah, that's why I liked the thought of Mike Emler's neck knife, which also, I have one coming from Artisan, that little neck knife. This kind of reminds me of it because it's a neck knife. But you can get the thing to put it on your belt. But yeah, like these little ones I can carry because, but I know what you mean, because even like, where we're at, it's, nobody walks around with a damn fixed blade, really. I mean, like, if you're going to be working, like, on a property or something, then yeah, but you're not going to go from place to place with a damn fixed blade on your side. It just, it looks weird around here. You would carry it in your pocket. What's up, Breeze? What's up, Lavender Pants? You're back to work. That's awesome. Kara is, she's here. She might join us here momentarily, but yeah, this is her first day off in, a while. So, but I think she might be joining us here shortly. Fixed blades are so useful though. Kukris are fixed blades. Yeah, fixed blades are awesome, especially if you're going to be working on a farm or working around a yard or whatever. I mean, they work really good, and you don't have to worry about breaking them as easily. But it's a lot more convenient, I think, a pocket knife. I guess it depends on where you're at, because I guess a fixed blade could be very convenient. It just depends. And some other stuff I shouldn't have. Would love to have Kara join us, but she deserves rest. She does deserve some rest. And she might join us here shortly, but she definitely deserves some rest. How much do you think a box of that bourbon goes for? So I think it would depend, because we have, like I said, the different boxes, different cases, different bottles. So I think it would depend on the setup and which one. The small box holds 3 bottles. They normally, I think, go for right around like $30 a bottle. Because it is more of a premium bottle. It's all hand done. So that, brings up the price right there, so it's all hand done. Everything's hand done. It's made in small batches. So it's going to be more expensive than, say, a company that, has big tanks and everything. Everything's done on a small scale, which also helps QC issues. You get a lot better quality control when everybody touches the same bottle. Do you know what I mean? So, it's like I said, like $30 a bottle for the smaller bottles, or the bottles you've probably seen in the video. Selling some amazing stuff tonight, most likely. Really? Sounds like you got something planned. How? Oh wait, that's not bad. I am in, man. I would go for that small box, 3 bottles if we can figure it out. Yeah, like I said, I'll talk to someone on Monday and see if I can't work something out. The problem is mailing them, because we're not like, we can't just mail out. So like it's different. Like I'm not sure exactly how it goes, but like the company that picks them up and distributes them, or whatever, the investor or whatever, they got like the things to move alcohol and stuff like that. And I've never bought one, to be. I don't have to. You know what I mean? I don't have to, so I've never bought one. I mean, I'm not saying I don't have them, but I just haven't bought one. I was gonna break out a glass tonight. And I'm not going to say I haven't, or I'm going to say I've never mailed any. But no, it's pretty good stuff. I'll be honest, I like the maple the best, probably. And then when it comes to because we do other stuff too. Our main thing is vodka, actually. Because the owner's Russian. And we do a cherry vodka, and it's infused with over 150 Michigan cherries in a small bottle. I mean, it's delicious, especially if you mix it. Like if you just drink it straight, it's weird because like when I'm filling it, right? When I'm filling it, it's obviously not cold, it's whatever temperature, room temperature, 60 degrees, whatever. And it'll splash a little bit, so I'll get it on me, and when I taste it, like the smell is so strong. It tastes like cherries everywhere. And so man, like it starts going through your head like this shit tastes like Kool-Aid or something, like when you're going through 1,000 bottles of it. Well, it'll splash on you and get, like you lick it off of you or something. And it's really sweet when you do it like that. But then when you got a cold and a full cup, it's not like sweet like that. So it's not really sweet. You definitely taste the cherry, but it's not extremely sweet. But if you mix it with something else cherry or just mix it, period, it's a really, really good. That one's called Oma's Cherry Vodka. Do you think anyone would be able to appreciate it, or is it more of an acquired taste? Okay, so this is the thing. Check this out. I do think somebody who understands liquor will. So we got, what's it called? There's, okay, so a magazine in 2000, I think it was 2014. I'm not positive the year. It wasn't that long ago though. We got, there's a point average. So the magazine thing, they take taste testers, alcohol taste testers that know their liquor. Like this is what they do for a living. They taste every liquor, like Patron, everything. And we got put on a scale of 94 points out of 100. Grey Goose didn't even hit that. So Grey Goose, and this was on the straight vodka. Grey Goose, I think, hit 92 points. And then there was another one that we beat too. Oh man, I don't remember what it was, but even like tequila still gets put on the same scale level too. I think they were 92 and then Grey Goose was 89 or something like that. But Patron was even a little bit lower. So, and they're hand done. But that's a different variety though. Do you know what I mean? That's tequila versus vodka. So you really can't put them in the same level. But they got the gold award 3 years in a row or something like that. And so it's pretty good stuff. But that was the vodka, which is, just one of the bottles out of like say the six. Then you still have the gin, the cherry vodka, the honey, maple, regular bourbon. But yeah, it's good stuff if you know what you're drinking. That's the thing is like, say me, right? I don't really drink that much. So if I drink one versus another, I'm not going to be able to really tell the difference. But somebody who understands liquor is just like coffee too, right? Like now, since I've been drinking so much coffee and getting used to good coffee, I can probably taste a cheap coffee and tell it's cheap versus a more expensive coffee. But a lot of people can't unless if you understand liquor. Just like with anything, even if you look at it with pocket knives, you could hand a $40 pocket knife to somebody and a $200 pocket knife, and they might not be able to tell the difference. Do you think anyone would be? Oh, I read that. That's dope. I seen cherry vodka and I was like interested, but damn, 150 cherries. Yep, Michigan cherries. It's infused, so we get it in like it's already infused. So it's not actual like the cherries. It's infused into a sauce basically, and then it mixes in the tank and blah blah blah. Yeah, cherry vodka and Coke. I mixed it with Sprite before, and I've also mixed it with Sprite and then threw like a real cherry in there and stuff. Patron, yeah, Patron is actually all hand done too, but they are like a four. What was it? I forget what it's sold for. I think it's sold for $4 billion or some shit, or maybe it was more than that. But they're a huge company, so I don't even understand. I bet you they have a factory so big they probably have 1,000 people because that's done in Mexico too. I think it's in Mexico. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, but they probably have 1,000 people in a line or something making those because they pump out a lot of bottles, and especially for it to be hand done in small bottles like that. I typically like my nice scotches, but I dabble in bourbon and stuff. Well, our whiskey we've had in our factory, we have them in barrels, and in order for it to be whiskey, it has to sit for I think the minimum of 2 or 3 years. Ours is over 3 years old before we ever popped it. So so we've had it sitting there in a a temperature controlled environment, blah blah blah, and anything we crack before is bourbon. That's how it goes. So bourbon's it's basically the same thing. It's just one's aged, one's not as aged. Because also another thing is that to call it whiskey, real whiskey has to be done in America. That's another thing. Just like we weren't allowed to do tequila. We were going to try doing tequila, but we couldn't do it because it has to be made in Mexico to be called tequila. It's all right, Mark. I appreciate you coming. Happy Halloween. Sorry, guys, I have to go. Yeah, it's all right, Great Wallaby. I understand, and happy Halloween, bud. But no, it's definitely interesting. There's days where like we're mixing some of those sweeter ones, and the whole place smells like that, man. It starts making you want to drink. I don't even like drink that much, but like it'll start getting your mouth watering, especially with that cherry stuff. I'll start wanting that stuff. I don't even care if it's warm, but technically, like we've done not like parties, but like one time I even put it on Instagram. I was trying to get everybody to show up, but it wasn't off my channel. It was off one of the. He's technically not an owner. He's more like an investor, but it's what's his name? What was the guy's name from Batman and Robin? Chris O'Donnell. Chris O'Donnell. It's Chris O'Donnell's brother. So Chris O'Donnell's brother is the guy. I work with him like pretty much every day. He's that's his line basically. We make it, and he's it's basically his line, the one with the crates and stuff. Great guy. Anyway, so we were holding like basically like a party, a mixing party, and we did a live on Instagram where we were showing how to mix drinks, and we had a professional bartender that was teaching these drink mixings. It was so awesome. They brought this caramelized bacon that was it was like candy, literally like candy. Pieces of bacon that were caramelized. Oh, it was so good. And so they would mix this bourbon drink up with these things. And basically, when you took a shot, you took a bite and then took a shot or one or the other, and it tasted like pancakes and it tasted like breakfast. It was so delicious. Thanks, bud. What's up, Ray? I appreciate you coming. Fist bump to you, bud. Happy Halloween. I was watching your video with Tier 1. I actually got a knife here from Tier 1. Oh, I put it back in its case. Yeah, I put it back in its case. Great dude. But yeah, that mixing thing was so awesome. Like all these unique drinks, mixing them together. Like that's the way. Like I'm gonna be. I'll be honest. Like if I'm gonna drink, I want something. I don't mind having a whiskey, or a bourbon or whatever, but I would rather have something with a little flavor, something that tastes good, versus something that doesn't. So like that day, we were mixing up some delicious drinks, and yeah, I mean they were still strong, but they were delicious. Like say a shot of powdered sugar, a shot of lemon juice, a shot of this, and it was so good. And then we even had round ice cubes. What's up, 1 minute knife reviews? But yeah, it's that video though. Doing that video was not easy. It took a lot of editing, and I've been getting better at editing. But you guys seen that beginning with the knives all screaming to come with? That's what happens every fucking morning when I'm trying to pick out a knife. But it usually takes a lot longer. Trying to pick out a knife to leave with is not easy. I might even start to leave, turn around and come back and swap it out. before I ever leave the house. It gets ridiculous. Uh, it all tastes like more. I don't even understand what that meant. But I had fun doing it. I had one of my buddies at work. You've seen him walk by. His name's Jared too. Um, the uh, the black dude you seen walk by when we were filming. He was helping me. But it's kind of weird being like, "Hey man, I need you to film this little clip really quick while I cut this shit." Like, "Hey man, can you film me really quick doing this?" You feel weird. You try setting up your camera, but it's not like I brought a tripod with me. Think about it. That would look ridiculous. What do you say to your boss? "Hey boss, I'm just bringing my camera equipment today. Rocking a smock today? That's awesome." Hell yeah. Oh man, I got the scales coming and the cage. Thanks to Timbo for letting me know that they put them on the market. I was starting to get worried that because they're like that Flightanium, where like they drop things, they stop making things, which usually they keep going. It's just you don't know when they're gonna drop them, and then you kind of get worried in the back of your head, like, are they gonna continue to make these? But yep, they are. So I got the parts coming for this, which is amazing because this is a great knife. And that shaman that Metal Complex made, oh man, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. And then he's talking about putting some milling lines or diamond patterns. That's what it was. Diamond patterns in it. Yeah. You know what was weird? Oh man, I was messing with Metal Complex. So he went live. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. He went live early, and it's hard talking in there because there's so many people, and which that's awesome for him. I think that's a beautiful thing. And I understand his frustration trying to keep up, with the comments and not being able to see them. And if they go by, they go by. There's nothing you can do. I kept trying to ask him a question and he never saw it. So then I left the thing. I said, "I'm going to flag this, or I'm going to report your channel for not answering my question." He still didn't see it. But, yeah, he has over 100 on slow. I know he has, man. Yeah, exactly. That's a slow night. That is awesome. That is so. I'm hoping that in a year, next year, that we are to that level. I pray to God that like by next year, our channel significantly grows because we've really grown these past 6 months, like a lot, and so we're picking up faster and faster and faster, and I'm trying to do little things to build it. Like even like this, I'm not even gonna monetize this video, which I know that's dumb on my part because these are normally an hour and a half to 2 hours long. So it's good to monetize those type of videos. But the thing is though, is that more people will click off when an ad hits if they've already been 30 minutes in and they hit a boring spot or something like that. So this way, maybe they'll stick around if I don't have no ads on there. It still obviously leaves it open for donations, which, Ray just showed you. But I'm not going to monetize it after to where people can come back and watch it and then they can see what our lives are like without having to sit through the annoying parts. And I did click a couple things off in the monetization thing, like because there was a couple things I don't even know what they are, but they're like these ads. I don't know what they look like because I don't get ads because I pay for Prime, basically, where you don't get ads. So I don't get any ads no matter what video I watch, no matter how many videos. I don't get ads. We pay like $12 a month. But I turned a couple things off, so hopefully it's a little bit better for people that are watching the videos. I don't know how much it'll improve, but I did click a couple things off. Now it's interesting. Out of 36 people, 2 with the same last name. Yep. They usually show up at the same damn time too. Oh man, I was just watching. I don't know if how many people in here wear boots or work boots. But I like Carhartt stuff, right? I Carhartt makes great stuff, great coats, great pants. They make a lot of great things, especially for a working person. But I was watching this thing from this guy. He's he does like boot reviews and stuff like that, and he breaks them down, cuts them apart. But he also, I think, custom makes stuff like boots and stuff. Well, he broke down the Carhartt work boots. They were like 155 to $165. Man, they weren't good. It was not a good review. Like, he was even saying he does not recommend them. He would never buy them. There were so many things wrong with it, from the leather to the quality control to the gluing, the stitching, even the type of leather, the sewing. And I would think that Carhartt would do a pretty good job on their work boots, because that, to me, I would think would be a popular thing. My favorite are Red Wings. I love Red Wings. And I got some Timberland Pros, which are work boots. Those are really good too. They took a while to break in, just like the Red Wings. But my wife's around the corner. She might join us in a little bit. I'm not sure. This is her first day off. I got some Timbo work boots. Timba. Haven't had those. Oh, you're talking about Timberland Pro or Timberlands? I got the Timberland Pros. Those are good work boots. I've had them for a little while now. They weren't that expensive. I think they're like 160, but I got them for a deal. But the Red Wings are expensive. Those aren't cheap, but you get what you pay for. Those other ones, for $155, you should still get a damn good boot from Carhartt. And it was bad, like really bad. I'll tell you what, my Timberland Pros, when I first got them, they were painful. But so were my first Red Wings ever. They were painful because I have wide feet, and like the toe, it was a little narrow, just a little bit. Now though, after wearing them for a long time and it really killing my feet for probably a few months, a couple months, you're supposed to break boots in though. The way you're supposed to break boots in is you're not supposed to just wear them. You're supposed to, when you get them, you're supposed to wear them around your house for a couple hours, then you go back into your old boots. And then when you wear them at work, you bring them to work, you wear them for a couple hours and throw on your old boots. You're supposed to slowly break them, and you're never, a good pair of work boots, you should never just go and start wearing. You will fucking bleed if you're doing a hard labor job and they're brand new, because it's tight leather that has to break in and get malleable. Like, it's just the way it is. The first Red Wings I ever got made me bleed bad, because I did that, because I just wore them. Those work boots wound up being my favorite work boots I've ever gotten, and I wound up getting 3 other pairs after that. They each lasted me about 5 years. Before that, work boots lasted me maybe 6 months max. I was going through some work boots, so I finally got some expensive work boots. Now I'll never not buy a good pair of work boots, as long as I can afford it, right? But obviously, if you can't afford it, $40, $60 pair of work boots is, whatever gets you the money, right? Whatever gets you to work. But if you can afford it and you can get a good pair of work boots, they will last you so much longer. They'll be so much more comfortable. Yeah, Danners are really good. They're pretty pricey too. They're, a lot like Red Wings. I mean, they're pricey. Big props to the knife community for stepping up and helping a therapy judge. Yes, definitely. He's a great dude in the community, and yeah, I give everybody props that supported. That was very cool of everybody. I haven't seen the Timberland Pro shoes, but the boots are great. That Kershaw Launch 13 looks fire. I did see it. I didn't watch the review, but I did see it. That boot guy has a Red Wing cut in half. Didn't watch it, though. Yeah, he cuts everything. Well, if it's the same one I watched, he cuts everything in half. And what he does is he reviews it before he cuts it in half. Then he cuts them in half in the video and goes through the next, because so like the first part of the show, he breaks down from an aesthetic point, like just looking it over and everything. Then the next part of the show is after cutting it in half, and then he breaks down the pros and cons of each. And when you get that many cons, it ain't good. It ain't good. Especially when it's the most essential things, like the stitching, the leather quality, stuff like that. The soles, I mean, the rubber bottoms of like them Carhartts. He said it was like the cheapest type of material. He said it will wear out so fast. I'm all about tactical now. Looking to get 511 tactical boots or Under Armour tactical for everyday wear. I like Under Armour. I haven't really got any 511 stuff. I know a lot of people like them 511 jeans. And yeah, they might be awesome. We got a 511 store not far from here, so I might check them out. One thing I did get from 511 though, I think it was from 511. It might have been from Carhartt. Was this Bloody Knuckles lotion. But I think that was from Carhartt though. I could be wrong. I like Carhartt shit. I've grown up on Carhartt stuff. I couldn't tell you how many Carhartt even this thing. I mean this thing's Carhartt. I couldn't tell you how many Carhartt coats I've had. I got one hanging in my closet right now. Yeah, y'all need to hit that damn like button. Let me see what we got. How many fucking likes do we have? We got 45 watching and 19 likes. I'm messing with you guys. I need my likes. Damn it, I'm late. Yeah, you are, man. No, I'm just joking. I didn't even know if anybody was gonna show up tonight, man. Happy Halloween. I appreciate you guys coming and spending a little time with Neevesknives. I'm sorry I'm not dressed up. Fucking even Douglas didn't dress up. You're earlier than you're earlier than Danny. All right. Hopefully we don't start skipping or anything. Wait, you would make a good Joker from Batman? Huh. Oh, a good Joker. I get what you're saying. The Joker from Batman. Yeah, I don't even know what I would have worn. Like if I would have dressed up or got a costume. This is probably how I would have done it if I was gonna do it. I probably would go to Target or wherever and find the most ridiculous guy's costume, not girl's costume, but the most ridiculous guy's costume, and wear it. You know how like those ones like in the picture, they look legit, like they look good, but it's because, hey, Benny, thanks, bud. Happy Halloween. Got to call it in. All right, bud. Thanks for stopping in and thanks for the donation, man. We appreciate it. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. But yeah, you know how like you go to the Halloween store and the picture on the costume looks good, like it looks legit, looks like the real thing because they got the guy and they have him in the perfect angle and everything. Now, if he just turned a little bit to the left or something, you would totally see bullshit, like it would look horrible. So when you actually get the costume and you put it on, you do not look like the thing you're trying to look like, the character. You never do. Like it looks horrible. It's baggy in some areas, tight in other areas. The material's ripping already. One of those costumes. I think that would be hilarious. Yeah, I tried this mask on today. I figured you guys would like this mask, so this is the one I went with. Well, I was gonna dress Douglas up, but didn't wind up doing that. Probably should have though. You can see how much effort I put into the Halloween live. Tomorrow I am gonna try to do the video on the Work Sharp electric sharpener though, which I think might be pretty cool. I think it's better than I thought it was gonna be. Honestly, I don't think I gave it as much credit as I think it deserves originally, meaning before I got it, because I always think about electric belt sharpeners as burning edges and stuff like that. But the fact is you can turn it to whatever speed you want. So you won't burn your edge. It's actually a pretty good knife sharpener. And once you get good at it and you sharpen a few knives on it, you get better and better. Just like with anything. With anything, once you do it a couple times, you get really good at it. And then the other attachment makes it to where you can do big things. And I'm going to try to possibly grind a knife to see, because I haven't done that yet. I might do it during the video and see if I can thin out a blade. See how it goes. Do you know what I mean? Like, so like say if I wanted to take this Spyderco Mannix and make it a thinner grind from the spine down to the edge, maybe try that out, because if I could do that and show it on camera that it's, you could use that for that, people might start buying them, because that would be pretty simple, a simple way to get better blade geometry on your knife. He is still in training from what I understand. Who, me? Would you ever carry a pocket strap? I've carried them in my backpack before, not in my pocket though. No. You know why? Because, like, alright, so, like, my dad, when I was younger, taught me this little trick, which I'm not saying for you guys to do it, because I don't want you all fuckers to cut yourself. But, like, I just take my hand. If I really need to strap really quick, I'll just take the aggressive part of my hand, and I'll strap right here on my damn hand. No, I don't have any compound on my hand, but I'll do that. Or I'll just find something, a piece of wood, a piece of cardboard, and just do the same thing on it. And if that won't get it done, and I really have a burr, I'll find a piece of wood and I'll scrape my edge down it. Right down it. And that works too. But I don't need to carry a strap. Now, like I said, I've carried things in my backpack before because I knew what type of day I was going to have. And having to do so much stuff in a day, usually I just bring a couple different knives because I normally don't have enough time. But if I really like that knife and I'm going to be using it, then I might tune it up really quick if I can do it quick and then get it back to work. But a lot of times I'll just switch knives and then I'll fix them at the end of the day. I love thin blade knives. I was impressed with how thin the Spyderco Chaparral is. Oh my god, this thing is so thin. So thin. This thing is incredible. Now, what I really like also, besides that, is this kite fin. This thing is super thin too, with a super thin edge. The Picaro, this is why I love the Picaro. I keep raving about the fucking Civivi Picaro. I don't have it here, but one reason I love it is because the blade itself is super thin, and then the edge is super thin, so you actually get a 4-inch blade that's very thin. A lot of knives that are 4 inches aren't that thin behind the edge, and normally they have a thick blade stock to support it. Now, it is the type of thinness that if you really tried, you can bend it. You're not going to snap it, but it will bend a little bit. But that makes it like a championship cutter. I mean, break down some cardboard with that in any other knife, and most likely you're going to rather cut with the Picaro. I mean, it's just, it cuts so good, and it keeps good ergos. Like, it actually fills the hand really good, where you can, because you can have two knives, and if one has shitty ergos, it can cut really good, and it doesn't matter because it doesn't feel like it in your hand. If it's stable in your hand and you have good ergos and you have a good grip and it doesn't move, that's when it's easier. Like, you could take a knife that has worse blade geometry and it will feel like it's cutting better than a knife with fantastic blade geometry just because of the ergos. Several of my knives would benefit from a regrind. I'm not confident enough to do it though. I know what you mean, and that's what I'm saying though. That work sharp though might be good enough to where you can be confident because it's a straight belt. So if you're laying the blade directly on a straight belt that's moving, and if it's pretty simple, I mean, I'll find out. You know, it might suck. I'm not saying it's going to do it fine at all, but because I'd like to do that too. I would love to be able to do regrinds, and especially if I could do regrinds and then like do it for people, that would be amazing. I'd love to be able to do hollow grinds. If I could do some hollow grinds, do you know how fast I would put a hollow grind on my Griptilian? Watching from TV account. Too lazy to type. Well, that's awesome. And take care of your damn teeth, man. I'll tell you what. Mike Emler's going through the same problem right now. EDC Journey. He's got a toothache, tooth problem. He's probably gonna have to get it pulled. I don't know, but I've had some serious teeth issues. I can't even express. It's almost killed me a couple times. I've had my face swelled out to here. I've had many teeth removed. I've been like, I was even, when I was a kid, my baby teeth had roots. So my baby teeth aren't supposed to have roots. You know, they fall out and then your big teeth come in. I had baby teeth with roots, so they wrapped around my big teeth. I'm not all of them, but some of them. So I had to have surgery at a young age, and the dentist didn't know what he was doing. He said he'd never seen anything like that before. They should have put me out. They didn't knock me out. They weren't doing the surgery while I was awake. Fuck, man. And then I've had infections that were so bad, like so bad because I didn't have insurance as a kid. Like as a kid growing up, I never had insurance. I had insurance one time for like 30 seconds. So dentist was just like, you know, you go to the dentist when you're dying, basically. And there was a couple times where like the dentist was very upset, like, and that's what they said. He's like, man, this can kill you, and blah blah blah. And then I've had, yeah, I know you guys don't want to hear about this shit, but I've had some pretty bad ones. So take care of your teeth, man. Definitely get to the dentist. Teeth ache is nothing to mess with. And you know why a toothache is so painful and so bad? Because it's so close to the brain. So, like, say if my thumb hurts, the pain has to travel up to my brain and then back to my finger. So, with a toothache, it's right there. So the signal never stops. So it doesn't matter if, say, if I smash my hand, you know, my toothache is always going to hurt worse than my hand because it's so close. Nothing's cutting off the signal to my brain. Man, I've literally ran my head into a wall before to knock myself out because I was in that much pain. And that is not an exaggeration or a joke. I've been through some serious tooth pain. Yeah, the nerves. And also another thing is my nerves are big. Like when they do like what the hell's it called? I can't think of the name of it. Anyways, but when that's done and they take the nerve out, like every time the dentist is like, wow, man, this is the biggest nerve I've ever seen. So that's another reason why it's very painful for me. The bigger the nerve, the more painful. So I have gigantic roots too. Gigantic roots and root canal. Yes, thank you, Jesse. A root canal. So I've had four of those. Maybe yeah, four or five. But I have gigantic roots. So when you have gigantic roots and gigantic nerves, it's more painful. But anybody, it's going to be painful if it's infected. If the nerve's infected, that is not a pain nobody wants to go through. I've had sprained necks. I've been shot in the eye with potato cannons and busted my eyeball. I was blind for weeks, months. I've been through lots of different painful things, and my tooth pain was probably the worst. Yeah. But yeah, I did sprain my neck one time and I was stuck looking right. Breeze should remember this because I was working for him at the time doing concrete. And what happened was I was working up in a ceiling or whatever. Well, I wound up falling through the rafters. And my back got dragged, up the rafters. And my whole back was black and blue. Skin ripped off. But what it did, though, was it gave me whiplash. And so my neck was fine the next day because I never went to sleep that night. The next day I worked, then went to sleep the following night. So I, did the damage, went to work the next day, but still hadn't slept. And since I hadn't stopped moving, the whiplash didn't kick in. The next day after I went to sleep, I woke up and I couldn't move. Literally couldn't move. And Breeze came down and checked on me. He seen I couldn't move. I was stuck like this For 2 weeks, I was stuck looking right. I went to the emergency room. They said I had a sprained neck. There was nothing they could do because my neck was turned. So I had to like wait for the shit to basically heal itself for me to be able to turn and look straight. It was so painful though. If I even thought about looking straight, it would just cripple me. So I was like bedridden for 2 weeks, looking right. Everything was looking right. It sucks if you're in a car with somebody and you're just stuck looking out the window. Oh, 41 people in here. Thank you guys and happy Halloween to everyone. This is such a weird thing to happen. What is that? What, spraining your neck? Yeah, it is very weird. Trust me, man. It was extremely painful too. Like neck damage, and I've had back injuries too. I'll go over one of those here in a second. But when you hurt your neck, just the tiniest movement, it pierces you so like down to your fucking toenails so much. There's nothing you can do. You're going to the ground. Like there's nothing stopping it. Kind of like getting tased or something. You know how like if somebody gets tased, they lock up and shake. It's kind of like that. But I messed up a bunch of ligaments in my back one time. I was riding dirt bikes and crashing and BMXing and shit like that. And then I was also fighting a lot. And I messed up a bunch of ligaments in my back, and I got stuck hunched over. And this went on for so long because I didn't have insurance. I was like 14. I think I was like 14, and I couldn't. I was hunched over walking around for like a month. Then it got worse and worse and worse, and it got to the point where I couldn't even walk. And I went to the emergency room, went to a chiropractor, got on electric therapy, where they hook your shit up to those things to put electricity through your back. Was getting it cracked and decompressed, and it took a few months till I was able to really come back 100%. They said I was going to have to go, and get that treatment done until I was 18. Bullshit. They're just trying to get money. Oh, you're a physical therapist. Well, then you damn sure know. What's up, Floridian? But yeah, back pain is nothing to mess with either. Like I know I've told you guys this before. But my dad, he was a paraplegic. He was paralyzed from the nipples down. His spine was crushed in 21 places. He was hit by a backhoe. The machines that dig in the ground for excavating. He was hit by one of those. Died on the way to the hospital. They flight for life him to Milwaukee. And get up and walk it off. That's the Neeves cure for everything. Yeah, and that's the downfall too. Because fucking you'd get hurt and they'd tell you to rub some dirt on it. But which is really good, I think, for a lot of kids. You got to make a kid tough, but at some point you need to take care of yourself too, and injuries wind up catching up to you. And I know there's lots of injuries I had as a kid and didn't deal with, and just wanted to be tough and didn't want to look like a pussy. So, I just would walk it off. And speaking what Breeze just said, I remember I wrecked my motorcycle one time. Right, Breeze is on a fucking four-wheeler. He's behind me. I'm on a motorcycle that's way bigger than me. Like, it was just like weight and just size. And I'm racing it around the track. I had already wrecked twice. So since I had already wrecked twice, I'm kind of fatigued, So I'm coming around the berm and I crash again. Breeze doesn't know it because he's around the berm. He's around the corner. So there's nothing he can do to stop. But he comes around the corner, sliding on the four-wheeler, and hits me, lands right on top of me, and stops on top of me. So I got a motorcycle on top of me, a four-wheeler, and Breeze. And I got hurt. I got hurt pretty bad. So I basically tapped out right then, right? Like I'm done. Like I'm done for the day. I go up to the house, which is the farm. I go up to the house, and Breeze's dad, my Uncle Mike, says, what does he say? He sees me limping, right? He sees me limping, and he's like, just like I thought. You're growing a fucking vagina. He's like, what are you, a pussy? He's like, get back on that motorcycle. So I didn't look like I was growing a vagina at the time. I got back on the motorcycle and went back out there. And I was pretty hurt too, but, that's how it was. Is Breeze fat at the time of this story? No, he's skinny at the time of this story. We were young. I mean, I don't know how much older Breeze is than me. I think he's 4 years older than me. 4 or 5 years older than me. Somebody told me, so Breeze is fat now. I wouldn't call him fat, but he's bigger than he was then. We all are really, but his dad's Big Mike. He's a big boy, but he's starting to look more and more like his dad. I'll say that. Breeze is 40, so he's 5 years older than me. Well, 6, but I'm about to turn 35. Somebody left me a comment after that video. They said, I thought you were much older. And I was thinking in my head, like, yeah, you probably think now I look younger than I am. I said, how old did you think I was? They didn't never message me back because I said, I'm probably older than you think. I'm turning 35 in January, so. But I think he's seen me in that video freshly shaved with a hat on and everything. And was like, oh man, he looks 25 or something. I don't know how old he thought I was. Maybe he thought I was 50. I have no idea. That's why I was asking, like, how old did you think I was? And how old do you think I am? Still young. I feel very young sometimes. Sometimes I feel old, though. Breeze was about 120 in high school and about 200 now. There you go. We all gain weight, though. I think, like, after, like, even for, like, thinner guys, skinnier guys, after, like, 25, you start putting on a little more weight. And after 30, you're going to put on a little more weight. Even just, like I hate to bring it back to, like, a dog, but, like, a dog does that, too. The first year they grow tall, their second year they grow wide, and the third year they grow their adult features, which is why their faces really fill out a dog, But humans do the same thing. I have gotten a snowmobile roll on me, 250 kilograms, so lucky did not break bones. I couldn't tell you, but how many crashes, like, me, Breeze, and all my cousins have experienced daily. We had a backtrack, we had motorcycles, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, cars, and we grew up in a racing family. So it was just, there wasn't nothing that didn't get raced. From the tricycles rolling down the hill to, actual things with engines. So everything was raced. Everything was crashed. Lots of injuries. I've had everything happen to me. I even one time we were going fast as shit on a four-wheeler. And we hit this turn that was on gravel and went underneath, and my leg got dragged underneath the tire going very fast and dragged all the way down the road under the wheel. All the skin on my leg got ripped off. I still have scars from it. I have back scars from riding a dirt bike on asphalt, and I was riding. I hit something with the front wheel, and the front wheel like kicked out, and it made me slide out. Well, when it slid out, my leg got caught on the motorcycle, and it dragged me. And I was peeling, I still have scars. I have scars across my back right here. I was peeling rocks out of my back for a week. I broke my arm in 3 places on a 98 KX 250. Yeah. Talking about breaking bones really quick. Here's another bone breaker for Halloween. My old man, right? So my old man's paralyzed. Well, I know he's passed away now, but I'm saying at the time. He was paralyzed. He's in his wheelchair, and he's crazy as fuck. I know I've told you guys that. Well, he's coming out of a doorway, and he was the type of person, he didn't give a shit, right? He don't care if he gets hurt, because, like, I had to take care of him and shit like that, so, but he didn't care himself, like, if he got hurt, even though somebody else was going to be taking care of the injuries. Like, he did not care. He couldn't feel it, for one. Number 2, he wanted his legs removed. The doctors wouldn't remove his legs. They eventually did because of other injuries and problems, but he wanted them removed. Anyways, so he didn't have no problem injuring them, running them into walls, busting them up. Well, he winds up going through a doorway on a ramp, catches his wheelchair, it catches, spins, throws him out of the chair, snaps both of his legs in both places. So breaks his shin and this bone right here, the thigh bone, I guess you'd call it. So in both legs. So 2 breaks per leg, 1 shot. Fucking crazy. I had to put these leg braces on him, even though fucking he can't feel his legs or anything, but had to put these leg braces on him every day to hopefully let them heal back. I don't know why, but I never broke a bone somehow. Was a boxer. Pretty sure I did some damage to my nose, but it works fine, so I suppose it's okay. So I did lots of boxing too, Floydian. I broke my nose 3 times. One time, really bad. Really bad. It was mangled. Even at the hospital, well, the doctor, and this was later on too, like way after, he looked at it and he says, "Oh, your nose, it's mangled." Yeah, the femur bone. Yes, reminds you of the movie Misery, right? Exactly. So, oof, it was so bad. But he did that shit just like normally. Like he even burnt his legs in a fire, so he couldn't feel it. He didn't give a fuck. You go walking up, his fucking legs melting. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'd be so mad at him because every time I turned around, he was doing something. He would run his feet because his feet would hang off of his chair, drag the toes across the wall, and you just see all of his toes just break and bust. All of his toes were broken and twisted. His foot came apart in my hand one time because he got a bed sore in his ankle, in his heel, and his Achilles heel broke in my hand. I've never seen so much blood in my life, and I've seen lots of blood, and this was so much blood. Thought he was gonna die. Excuse me, I'm not crying. My throat got caught up. I thought he was gonna die. I was trying to like catch it, and like wrap it up because it literally what I was doing was range of motion on his ankle, and that's where like you go like that. So I'm doing that, but it's really tight, and I wasn't taking care of him for like 2 weeks. I don't remember if I was on vacation or what I was doing. Anyways, I wasn't taking care of him for 2 weeks. Somebody else was, and when I got back, I was really mad. The heel was so much worse than it was when I left. When I left, it was almost healed. And like I said, he wanted his legs removed. So he was trying to do everything possible to hurt himself. And he fucking did, he messed up his heel and it wound up turning to a bad infected bed sore. I had it all healed up and then somebody else was taking care of him for a couple weeks. When I came back, it was back to like it was before I left. And I was so mad, so I was like basically doing range of motion because I knew his legs hadn't been moving enough. Like his legs needed to be moved every day, multiple times a day for range of motion to get the blood flow moving. And it broke right in my hand, just blood everywhere. He winds up getting his leg removed eventually. He wound up getting an infection in his foot, and it moved up his leg, and I think 3 different times he had to get it cut off till finally it was all the way up to as far as you can go before you have no more leg to cut off. And if it would have went any farther than that, who knows what would have happened. Yeah, it's very traumatic. And I, working with him and the nurses and in and out of the hospital with him, like, I learned a lot. I took care of all the bed sores, all the injuries. I had to do everything for him. You can imagine, everything from going to the bathroom to doing his sores. He had lots of bed sores and lots of injuries, and anything could turn into an injury too. That's the thing. Like, if he rolls over and this is underneath him or something, he can't feel it, and he can't feel the blood flow getting cut off. So it turns into a bed sore like that, like so fast. So it was really hard. And with somebody with his mentality, he's a very difficult patient. Very difficult. And, you know, fucking, he'd shoot you too, so you had to be careful. Like, not saying me, but somebody else. Like, it was hard getting anybody to take care of him. The nurses were fired within the first, or not fired, they quit in the first 2 weeks for him trying to grab them, if you know what I mean. So, he was trying to grab him some tit action. No, fuck no. I met her after my dad passed away, actually. My dad had just passed away, and then we met. Sight of blood. I've seen people get dizzy from seeing blood, but never pass out all the way. I've seen so much it's not possible, but I've never seen anybody pass out, I don't think. I've seen people get sick and walk out. Or like, you know, like get dizzy and like walk off. Thank you, Ross. I appreciate that. This stuff sounds made up, but I can verify it's true. Sometimes I got to be careful with what I say on the channel. One, I know it sounds so unbelievable. But another thing, like, I got to be careful with, like, I feel like sometimes, you know, I have a huge family. And I don't want to piss anybody off, too, you know. I don't want, that's why I try to keep names out of it. Because I don't want to say a story that I know doesn't matter, right? But other people might feel like it does or whatever. So I try to be a little careful with what I say. And I don't ever bring up things that could affect anybody. I try to bring up things that are in the past that can't be brought back up, you know, if they're ever really bad or anything. So I try to be careful with what comes out of my mouth. I used to work at a slaughterhouse. That's how I got into knives. That's awesome. I thought about, like, that would be a cool job. Like, I've cut up deers and stuff like that. But then I thought about, like, that smell. I wonder, like, what it would be like, you know, like, just spending a day or 2 days would be one thing. But every fucking day, like, even, like, dealing, like, with fish or something, like, the people that, you know, cut up fish every day, they wind up smelling like fish. I don't know what a slaughterhouse smells like. I know what cutting up a deer smells like. I know what, you know, like doing, you know, hunting and then cutting up the animal that you killed and stuff like that, but not an actual slaughterhouse. I would imagine the smell's not bad, but I don't know. And I always wondered that. Like, does it have a scent? Yeah, I feel like a quarter of the people in the live are a Neeves cousin in disguise. You never know. And that is true. There are a lot of family members that come into here. There are some that are watching that I don't know are watching. I find out later are watching. I even had one that I found out, didn't get mad, but got a little, not upset. I'm not going to say upset, but they were like, oh man, I can't believe he's talking about that. Why would he talk about that in a live? And I think I was talking about, like, one time when I ran from the cops or something. But it's like, I didn't fucking bring anybody else into it. I only told my, you know, me and my story. So I don't see what it matters. And it's all old shit. I went to court for it. So it's not like it's a big deal to me. And I don't really care. Like, I don't do anything bad anymore. I turned my life so far around. And I feel very blessed to even have a YouTube channel and be doing as good as I am. So I don't have no problem talking about, you know, some past things. Obviously not all. But, you know, some past things I think is good for somebody who's turned their life around to do. You know, it lets you know where you've gone, you know, came from, where you've, you know, I guess where you've came from. It's very bad. My wife hates it, but I told her that's the smell of money. That's a good answer. That's a damn good answer. I like I like that answer. Baby, don't worry about that smell. That's the smell of money. I like it. Yeah, I delivered to slaughterhouses when I worked in Amazon, and the smell was rough. But also, all the chickens in cages looked so sad. Yeah. I bet you didn't look too bad when you were eating fucking KFC a week later. Or when you ate that chicken sandwich from McDonald's. You looked right at it, you were like, oh, that chicken. Fuck it. You know, anybody who, like, talks about, like, that stuff or, like, hunting or anything like that, I always think, like, man, I'd love to see them starve for about a week. Because I promise you, you starve for about a week and you see a deer, rabbit, squirrel, or anything like that, your instincts for your primitive instincts kick in heavily, and you are willing to just about kill anything and eat it. Things start looking good that aren't even edible. Oh, like the Family Guy episode where Cleveland's wife breaks a glass labeled girlfriend's who's hate. What? Let me read that again. Like that Family Guy episode where Cleveland's wife breaks a glass labeled girlfriends who hate your husband. Oh, she broke a glass label of a girlfriend who hate your husband. Okay, I kind of get it. I have that same wife has her sister spy on me to see what knives I've been buying so she can get mad. That sucks. That sucks. Yeah. That would suck. I wouldn't know what to do about that one. I would start faking it, I guess. I don't know. Start buying some cheap knives just to act like that's what you're buying these days. Or buy a cheap knife, and that's the receipt for the actual knife you got, if you know what I mean. How much was that knife? Oh, well, here's the receipt, baby. $10.99. A Strider for $10.99? Yeah, the cheap. I'm into cheap knives now. Like a vegetarian in a closet for a week, then feed him a ham sandwich. Yeah, there you go. Vegetarians, though, I mean, being a vegetarian, I think they can get by pretty good because they'll eat, the vegetables and stuff like that you can find, nuts, berries, blah, blah, blah. But somebody that does eat meat and doesn't like hunting or doesn't like the killing of things, I mean, that I can't fathom that. I don't understand that. I think it's much more logical, and I think it's better for the hunter. Like, I think it's more, I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but it's more honorable because the food that you're eating from the store were kept in cages. Kept in cages and raised until death. Now, I'm not saying that they were abused or anything, and I'm not saying they weren't abused. Like some cows, like milk cows and a lot of meat cows and bulls, they're kept very good. Like dairy cows, and like I forget what company it is, but they show their cows. Those cows get treated with royalty. They get back massages. They never get milked unless if they want to. They actually walk in when they want to, and they can get a massage whenever they want to. Like they're treated like royalty. But there are some animals like chickens and blah 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 that might not be kept as good. But most farmers want to keep their animals good health because the happier the animal, the better the meat, the better, and just like the better they eat, the better the meat, the bigger they are, blah blah blah. But there's a lot of recordings of animal places that are just like cages filled. But I think those are in like third world countries, maybe not always, but I think a lot of them are. They'll never show you the films of the good animals, the places that a lot of places get their meat. They'll never show you those ones, right? The ones that are kept really good and really healthy, blah, blah. But a hunter, the animal's gotten to live its life. The animal's lived its life up into the time when that bullet hits him or the arrow, and he never knew it hit him. Like, it goes so quick, and I think that's much more honorable than the cage thing. And the thing has gotten to breed most likely. The thing's gotten to live life, and eventually he's gonna die anyways. Like a deer, and I'm just saying a deer. You can think of it with anything, elk, whatever, buffalo. They're eventually going to die, and the older they get, the bigger the chance they have of dying by a wolf, coyote, or a car, or a disease. So I think it's a little bit better for them to go like that than to go the other way. But I also like hunting, so where was I? Once when I was in high school, I went a week without eating just to see if I could test the willpower 1 week wasn't really that bad. Yeah, 1 week really. I mean, it depends. This is the thing, is that because I've done this many times, and not because I wanted to, but if you've eaten a lot, right? So if you've eaten good, then you cut yourself off, you feel a lot more hungrier because your stomach will be stretched. Now, if you've eaten just a little bit here and there for like a month or so, and your stomach is shrunk, then it's a lot easier because you don't have a big stomach. So it literally takes a couple peanuts and you're full. So it depends on how you went into it. Sounds like you must have had a shrunken stomach at the time of that, because I've been through both, where I starved to the point to where I'm ready to rob McDonald's for food, and then I've went to the point to where like it wasn't that bad, like I could just eat little tiny things and get by. And it depends on the water intake, what you're eating, like what you were eating before, how healthy you were. But yeah, but just starving period, man. When you go a certain amount of time. What's up, Mike Emler? Mike Emler's in the house. Everybody go check out Mike Emler's channel. He's got a great knife channel. I have a couple of his knives right now. I was actually just flicking one just a second ago. But yeah, when you're really hungry, like starving, your primitive mind kicks in, and things that, like I said, that don't look edible normally start looking edible. Like I remember being so hungry before where I literally looked at leather and thought about eating it. Leather. I mean, do you use a gut hook knife? I've never had, but some people like them. I used to. I don't really have any right now that I can think of. But I used to go hunting a lot, and I used to have one. I used to have some really nice fixed blades. A long time ago, that's what I collected the most. I used my pocket knives for work, right? So those were just straight beaters to me. Like, especially when I first really got into knife collecting when I was a kid, fixed blades were the best thing to me. My dad was a fixed blade nut. My dad loved fixed blades. My dad loved hunting. My dad was a hunter. He was a professional bow shooter, and so like that's where I started. And I had a bunch that actually had gut hooks. They were hunting knives for skinning deers, and so I think they're all right. I think they're good. They can be very useful. Depends on what you're going to be using it for. If you're not going to be using it, then no, it's not going to be any good to you. But if you have something that you can hook and cut, like strings, skin, or whatever, then yeah, it's awesome. You got to keep up with the edge, though. Where did you sear? I don't know what that is. Folding knives have gotten stronger. And that's another thing. You're so right. So the folding knives got way better, too. Back in the day, and I'm talking about back in the day, they weren't that great. Like, I remember, like I've told the story before, the first folding knife that I seen and felt in my hand that was well built was a Kershaw. And it was a more expensive Kershaw, but it was a good knife. And when I felt it, and I bought it, and I used it, and seen how long it lasted, versus the other pocket knives that broke, got destroyed, failed, edge just got damaged, all the shit right away. This didn't, and it actually was outperforming, other knives to me. And it was a little bit more of an expensive Kershaw at the time. It was the most expensive one that store had, but it was damn good, and that's what started getting me into pocket knives when I seen that. And then all my gun magazines, they had Benchmades in there, and a bunch of different companies. The first Spyderco, I think it was Spyderco. The first Spyderco I ever seen had a ceramic ball in it. I remember it was in my gun magazines, and it was just a ceramic ball, so there was no button here. It was just the ball, and they were talking about how strong that lock is. The lock is so strong, and blah blah blah. And I didn't never touched one, but that's the first one I ever seen. It was in a magazine. I didn't get home from the ER till almost 1 a.m. Man, I don't know why you went to the ER. Was it for your tooth? I was actually just talking about tooth things a little bit ago, and you reminded me of it. And somebody else in the comments was talking about them having a toothache, and I said that you have one too. Hopefully that's not what you were in the ER for, man. That fucking sucks, man. Gas station knives back in the day, so crap, like made in China. Yeah, like real bad though. The Chinese knives now look great compared to those knives back in the day. Best Fuller out when I was a kid was a buck 110. Yeah, that's what I had when I was a little kid. Um, but the thing is that it kind of pushed me away from back locks, because then when I started finding frame locks and liner locks and so on and so forth, back locks to me was like the old shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, to me it was like, oh yeah, it's a back lock. That's old school stuff. The new improved and better stuff as a frame lock or a liner lock, which I know isn't the case, but that's what my brain went, when I was buying knives as time went on. I looked at like, oh, it's a back lock. Oh, that's an old fashioned knife. I had my first buck 110. I was probably 8. I mean, my first knife was when I was like 5 or 6, but that wasn't a buck 110. It was bigger than a buck 110. But I had a couple buck 110s when I was real young, like in the early 90s. Don't mind me just cooking dinner and listening through the headphones. Awesome, Chris. Appreciate you being here. You need to buy the sea snake. Yeah, the sea snake is pretty awesome. I got one coming. It should be here any day now. I think the damn post office is messing up, though, because Artisan got it out to me quick. But it's been sitting in Texas for a couple days at the USPS. I don't know why. It kind of makes me mad. The only knives I can't get into is slip joints. I hate nail breaker, just open a knife. I agree. I like some slip joints, and I've seen some that, like, put it this way. Spirited Blades. He got that Birdvis. It's a custom knife, custom slip joint. That thing, I've never seen a slip joint like that in my life. The fucking fit and finish and the details. Whew, that thing is nice, like really nice. But that's a custom. But I don't really get into slip joints either. I don't really put knives at the bottom of my pocket. I like hooking them to my pocket. I like being able to get to them quick. Not saying I have anything against it. Not saying I wouldn't carry one. And I can respect, and I like the beauty of it, and I understand it. I love the like the nostalgic of it, I guess. I like the materials that some of them are used with. Like, some have some really cool materials. Like, you can get, like, say, a knife that has, I don't know, meteorite or something. I don't know, I'm just talking shit. But a very expensive material on a slip joint that won't cost as much as if you had to get a big old slab of it for a big knife. Do you know what I mean? So it's a way to get expensive materials on a small package. If you appreciate those kind of knives. Someone is paying attention. Seems logical. Alright, custom slips can be cool with easy opening, pinch opening. Those fingernail cutouts suck. Yeah, and that's what I mean. There's so many different ones too. Like, there are some that do suck to pull out, and then there's some that aren't so bad. But yeah, I don't like the ones that really, are like, I like a strong pull, but if you're gonna have a strong pull, give me a place to pinch it out. Don't make it a strong pull and make it to where I gotta, like, dig it out. This thing's got, I love the D10 nub. The D10 nub instead of a D10 ball is so nice. Easy journey almost got me into a slip joint. Yeah, there were a couple, like, because I like the slip joints or the little back locks that are like the new style, not the old style, but it's like the old style and new put together. I think that looks fantastic. I love when I see those. Those are actually catch my eye, especially if they have a pocket clip. Yes, this D10 system is so nice. The Holt Spectre. Everything on this thing. This thing is amazing. I do think that it looks kind of steak knife-ish, like a steak knife, but I was kind of thinking about it after I did that video. And I like the simplicity, like so much. So I don't know why I would even complain about that because it's a good looking knife and I like how simple it is. And then I went like this. I said, well, what about a Rat 1? It's kind of the same thing, like with the blade shape and everything. And I started thinking, like, what is so cool about this that makes it look like a work knife and this looks like a steak knife? And I think it's the thumb studs. I think it's the thumb studs. If this thing had thumb studs, and possibly the grind too, because this has a full stone wash, which I'd rather have a stone wash, I think, than this satin finish. But if it had a heavy belt satin on it, I think it would look better. Or thumb studs, which I'm not saying thumb studs would work, but I'm saying it would stop it from looking so much like a steak knife. What's up, Don Bond? Happy Halloween! I have the proper in carbon fiber, first run numbered. Yeah, the proper is a cool knife. Like, I wouldn't personally buy one, but I respect it. I like it. And people, like, my grandpa always had a slip joint. My dad had slip joints. I respect a good slip joint. I like a good slip joint. I think they're awesome. And I think they're super useful and sometimes way more useful than a big knife. To be honest, most of them will outcut majority of knives. That's just a fact because they're so thin. Even if they're dull, they're still sharp. They'll keep cutting even when their edge is dead. So they are so useful and so awesome. And that's one thing that I love about them. Now, bring that package into like 2020. Do you know what I mean? I like those. The kind that look like a 2020 knife, like, you know, like a slip, or that is a slip joint that has like the features of a 2020 knife. The blade steel, the materials, you know, maybe even the shapes. You know, because, you know, the old slip joints, they all pretty much had the same blade shapes. Clip points. Yeah, the Rat 1 blade shape is fantastic, and that's what I mean. Why does this look like such a useful blade shape to me? But then when I look at this, it kind of looks like a steak knife. Even though it's very similar. And not saying I love this knife. I think this knife is fucking awesome. I love, love, love this knife. But it's just like that one thing, like it kind of looks like a steak knife, which I've heard that from a lot of knives that I love from other people. So, but I think though, a little tiny detail changes everything. Like I was even saying about this thing. Oh, this knife is so awesome, man. The Shuro. So amazing. If it had a belt satin finish, it would take it over the top because it wouldn't look so steak knife-ish. Or if it had something, like a little tiny groove. But I think, though, the way it is, because when I cut with this thing, it burns through cardboard. I've only cut cardboard with her right now, so I can't speak on anything else. But, man, it was burning through cardboard. It made me want to just keep going. It has a thinner aesthetic, it seems. It isn't a lot thinner, but the lines, I think, do it a bit. Yeah. That Shuro better be awesome for the price. Dear Lord! Oh, good Lord. Very true. And I think that that's where you're crossing the line, like when you spend that money, right? I can't pick nothing on this knife that I think is a bad. And I'm not doing a review right now because then you guys won't go watch my review. You guys are trying to get me to do a review right now. But the knife's fantastic. It's a fucking awesome knife. So when you do spend that money, you kind of you get those little things that you might not like on some knives. You know, it kind of takes it off of those. You know, they obviously they're gonna be able to do better with a more expensive knife. Some expensive knives can't, but even like this React, this K2, this thing is so awesome. This knife is amazing. I can't even explain how well done this knife is. This knife is one of the most perfect, well done knives I've tried this year. The only complaint I have is the clip is a little sharp pulling out of my pocket. It's a little, the tension's just a little strong, and it's all pinpoint to one area. So like this clip, it has an area like this wide that's actually putting pressure on your pocket. You know, where the clip hits the side of the knife, it's a big wide area. So when it's coming out of the pocket, you know, it's nice and luxurious to come out of the pocket. But when you just have a little point that's hanging on, it's like fighting to get off. That's what this one kind of does. But besides that, the ergos, the geometry, the fit, the finish, everything is done so good. And it's not as, it's only half the price of this knife. But I can still feel that this knife is a little bit more well done. I really like the access lock for safety and fidget factor. It's not the strongest. So no, it's not the strongest. The triad lock is the strongest. But I would argue though, because I don't know, two things. The triad lock, I think everybody as of right now agrees that the triad lock is the strongest. Now, let's really talk about this though. What if the Mannix had the titanium cage and the titanium scales? Has that ever been tested? And let's talk about the big one, because let's see the size. So if you take the big one and put the titanium cage and the titanium scales on either one of these, I know it would be 10, I don't know about 10, but it'd be so much stronger than it is now. How much stronger? I don't know, but I'd like to know which one's stronger. Can it compete against the triad lock? I think it could. Now another thing, what about the knives like Medford that have that lock bar tension that's so strong it hurts your finger to unlock? And don't get me wrong, I've seen some people fail theirs, trying to fail them, but the ones that are broken in and are locked up really good, I wonder what the strength is on those. Like, I don't feel like, I mean, it's probably stronger than a triad lock, probably. But the big dogs, like the 187 or whatever, that are completely locked up nice and strong, I would love to know the test. Now, I've seen for a triad lock, what was it? I think it was like 3,000 pounds it carried on its spine. I think that's what it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that one guy did the weight video where he takes the knives and he tests them and tests how strong they are. And I believe the triad lock, I don't remember which knife it was, held like 2,700 pounds or 2,800 pounds on the spine of the blade before the blade snapped. The lock didn't even fail. The blade snapped. That's still a failure, but the lock didn't break. So I'd like to know the Mannix with tie and a really strong. I don't know what the access lock does either, though. I know it's very strong. I've heard it's the second strongest, and then the compression lock. But with those being tested, I think they were considering this, because when this was tested, the problem was the weight test. So it did really good on the impact tests. But when they tested it with weight on the spine, it didn't do good at all, like really bad. But that's because of the plastic cage. Get rid of the plastic cage, put a titanium cage on there, how much does the strength increase? Because I think it was like 130 pounds or something. It wasn't much till that cage kind of failed. So, which not too many people are hanging from their spine to their blade, but Blade HQ definitely did that test. Which test? The one I'm talking about wasn't Blade HQ. It was a guy, but I'm curious of what the weight test. Oh, they did it too? Okay. But on what? On the triad lock or the access lock? Man, I should just get some knives and do the damn test myself. Go to Breeze's shop and we'll hook some weights to the spine of some blades and see if we can fucking break them. Jared, I need to get you up to speed on the blades I've had coming. It's insane. You know what, man? We were just talking about you just a little bit ago. What do you got coming? I'm sure you got some insane shit coming. We were talking about Birdvis knives, and we were talking about you because we were talking about like the best slip joints. But what do you got coming? The triad, access, compression, back lock, etc. You're saying that's the order it goes in? Triad lock, access lock, compression lock, then back locks, then frame, probably then liner. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. But, you know, if you test one frame lock, that's not every frame lock. Same thing with access locks or anything. Like I said, I think that this could stand up with the parts done right. It could possibly stand up to, but then again, I don't know, because maybe there's a huge failure. Because I think when I watched him fail on that guy's video, this back part came out. So basically these screws right here came out, but it was because of the plastic cage breaking. Once the plastic cage breaks, it allows the pressure to push it out. If the cage doesn't break, then it won't pop out. So that's the way I'm looking at it in my head. I just need to do the damn test myself. My son just bought me a Buck 110 Classic. My first Buck. It's a great knife. Very sharp. Man, you know what? I got the Buck sitting over there. I got the Buck 110 and the Buck 112 in micarta and G10 and S30V. Great knives. Love them. I like the micarta ones better than the old classic versions, though. With the S30V, it's much more warmer in the hand, lighter. We can't bolt a knife to the floor, and we can bolt a knife to the floor and use the overhead crane to just rip them apart. Yeah, no, see, we need weights. So what we need is like a jack, and or you know what we need. We need a jack, and we'll put weights on it, and then take a pipe with the weights. Like with the weights going through the pipe, so they're on like a thing. They can be lifted by a chain or lifted by whatever. That doesn't matter. But make it to where we can hook it to the spine of the blade. So just clamp a device, whatever, and make it to where it can pull down on it. I recently had a knife fail on me, guys. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is because I'm going to explain it in the video, and I don't want to say it, but it wasn't good. I recently landed a Jared Price mini Bowie. Woo! A Pena custom moolah. I seen that. That's amazing. A Foster Narwhal Bowie. A Recenti Payson, however you pronounce that. I know what knife that is. Coming next week. A Mayo carbon fiber covert next week or two. Oh, man, you got an Oz Roosevelt coming? Oh, it makes me so jealous. Dude, that's the knife I've been drooling over, is that Oz Roosevelt. Well, just the Oz, what is it called? Oz Machine. Those knives look so badass. But the Roosevelt is a specific pattern, right? Or specific one. My favorite one that I've been looking at is just a plain stonewash tie version with maybe a little pop of Damascus maybe, or whatever. It doesn't even have to have that. But I want the scales and the blade to be all stonewash titanium. Now, I will say the best looking carbon fiber I've ever seen was on those Oz knives. He does that cross-cut carbon fiber on the show scale. It looks so beautiful. My Roosevelt will be here in like 2 months. You both lucky motherfuckers. That's awesome. And can't tell you, Florian. I want to tell you, but I can't. Oh, good night, Amy. I didn't see you were taking off. I'm sorry. Happy Halloween. I'm sorry I didn't even see you were leaving until I seen Aunt Dawn said good night. I just ordered the Carhartt tool roll that you recommended a while ago. Great. That's awesome, man. It's very well built. Not like their work boots. Not like their work boots. It's a great carry. Seen zirconia blade? No, I haven't seen zirconia blade. Don't know what it is. What do you think of the Rough Rider Cinnamon Stag series? I haven't seen it. I don't know. Bought a Wingman EDC Mach 3 tonight. Thanks to Ryan. Wife is going to murder me. Whew. Well, sounds like an awesome knife. Sounds like a bad time, though. Hell yes. Purple pants. Yeah, dude, that's you got some amazing knives coming. Both of you guys do. Got an even heat oven here. Any day to do my own heat treats. That's awesome. Going to be doing first run in extra high hardness. What Rockwell are you gonna take it up to? 25 to knife? Do you know? I hear you saying high hardness, but I'm curious what would be high hardness like for that. Floridian guy on Crazy Customs was selling on all black one for $225. No shit. Which custom slip joint makers do you follow? I follow Birdvis. I don't know. I follow a lot of people, man. I don't know. I follow a lot of different people, so I couldn't tell you. Yeah, Pena. That's another one. Pena. I checked out Birdvis's Slippy, the one from Ryan from Spirited Blades. I've never tried a Pena custom, but that was the nicest slip joint I've ever seen in my life. And I've tried a lot of them. I really have. I've tried a lot of them. I've tried a lot of nice ones too. I even went to like knife shops and checked out really nice ones. But that thing just, the fit, the finish, the materials, that thing is beautifully well done. You can tell the attention to detail in certain things, you know, when you get your hands on it. Just the feel of it. You just put it in your hand and you already know just by touching it. Like, this thing's well done. Sorry, I typoed Floridian. $255. Price just went up. Ha! Damn, 65 and the RWL will be 61 plus. That sounds awesome. Damn. So I don't know about RWL, like where their sweet spot is, but I would imagine that sounds like a good sweet spot between probably 60 and 62 or something. So that sounds like a sweet spot. I know a lot of people, including myself, that I've sharpened a lot of RWL and Damasteel. Man, when it's done right, it takes a screaming sharp edge. Very, very sharp edge. I sharpened Damasteel a couple times, and then RWL 34. And man, it's the only thing I found on one of them that I polished. I found that just like CPM 154, excuse me, it polishes almost too good. Like, it polished so good that it almost took the bite out of the edge. Now, don't get me wrong, I could have changed the angle, you know, and laid it back a little farther, and then it would have been fine. So, I know to do that. If I want to polish RWL 34, then I need to make sure my angle's laid back, and it's not at like 20 degrees, more like 15 to 17 degrees, and then it can keep the bite and be mirror polished. But damn it, does it take a very, very sharp edge. RWL could handle 61 HRC, and the Venus 4 can go up to 67. Wow, but 65 will be plenty for an integral folder. Gamer! Thanks, bud. Let's see that TwoSun one. Okay, right here. 129. The TwoSun 129 night morning design. You know who else just got this? Oh man. Now I can't even think. This old sword. He's got a YouTube channel. He just got one, just did a video on it. His, the only problem with the edge came a little. I think he said it was off from one side to the other, the way it was sharpened. Um, Most TwoSuns, their edges come pretty good. Like, they're pretty damn good. Um, and they're usually pretty even. His, I guess, was a little off, but that's not a problem, man, because you're just going to sharpen it up anyways. Like, eventually, Obviously, you care if the grind is way off, which I've seen a lot. So, but, Rupp, Pena, Romana, his purpose are among the best around for slippy makers. Besides Tony Reese, Buzzy Oizer is a good modern guy, but too much hype. Fuck boys around him. Okay, yeah, that can be a problem when you got some crazy ass fuck boys around somebody that hypes him up a little too much and makes it to where the quality or the price doesn't fit the quality, I should say. But man, 65 or 65 HRC you're saying will be plenty for an integral folder. That's amazing, man. Man, integrals are definitely hard to do. We were talking about that earlier a little bit. It's not like doing a sandwich, like even like this, right, where it looks like it's an integral, but it's a sandwich. That's even hard enough, right, to get the two sides and put them together perfectly, seamlessly, but to do everything from one piece, you can't mess up, right? Like, you can't mess up. You better make sure, like, if you have a CNC machine, or it has to have a CNC machine, that the CNC machine's bits are all like new, or all really sharp, really good bits, because you wouldn't want anything to mess up. And then if it does, your material's wasted. And then, like, just practicing it, right, or just setting up, like, say you got all your measurements, you think you do, you get, your billet out, whatever you call it, and you get it done. Well, then you go to put it together, well, it's a little off, right? It's a little off. You got to restart. And so, I can only imagine the frustrations with making an integral for the first time, like the first one, before you have it set in the machine, like all the trial and errors, and doing it the first time, it would be a motherfucker. I can only imagine. Seems logical, said this old sword won a bidding war and knife junkies earlier in the week. Cool guy. Wish he would be in these lives. He sometimes comes in. He's a good dude. Yeah, I like him too. He watches most of my videos. And like I said, he just got this 129. Such a good knife. Such an incredible knife. And this one's starting to become an old model. An oldie but a goodie. But they just come out with them so fast. Technically, this is still a new model. They just come out with them so fast. So this is 129. They're up to 260s now. But the geometry of this thing, I think it's like 12 thousandths behind the edge. I think that's what it is. Super thin, slicey. The ergos are fantastic. The action. The one thing is, like, a lot of knives that you can do a spidey flick with, you can't do a thumb flick very comfortably. This thing is so easy to do all three, including the front flipper. But it's just a great knife altogether. He got the 14C28M version. This is the M390 version. He got his for $60 too. $60. Think about that. Titanium, beautifully contoured, well done carbon fiber, and 14C28N, and they do 14C28N very good. TwoSun's 14C28N could possibly be some of the best 14C28N I've seen. Possibly. I am pretty excited about doing tool steels. It's just icing on the cake. You're right. It's very challenging and adds a lot of variables. Mistakes are much more costly. Doing all of it on my manual mill. Damn! Doing it on a manual mill too. Yeah, that's I can only imagine, man. I can only imagine. I can't wait to see what you're doing, man. You've like gone very far very quick, though. I do not doubt that you're not going to do incredible work. Just seeing how you've grown, over the past couple months in your shop and the things, like what you set out to do and what you started doing. I mean, that's awesome, man. Props to you. If you could dress us, if you could dress up as any knife for Halloween to get chuckles or oohs and ahs, which knife would you dress up as? I would say this one, but then I'd probably be labeled a racist. Somehow I don't know how it turns you into a racist, but I don't know. Maybe a hinder or yeah, possibly a hinder, a strider or something. Maybe a Medford. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how that would be possible. Do you know we were going to carve a pumpkin and we were going to put the Neevesknives logo in it, or just a knife, but didn't work out. Ruins EDC, yeah. Did one earlier today and a few really nice ones in the past. I'll give you a sneak peek in DMs if you want to see. I definitely want to see. Tom Mayo's Dr. Death is what Spirited Blades would be. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine like how you would look. Like, how do you do it? What do you do? Do you just do the colors? Do you like, say if you're going to be an axis lock, do you put 2 pins on the side of your neck, then you look like Frankenstein? How do you do it? It's kind of weird. This, I guess you could kind of get by with this. You could wear all blue with diamonds on your shirt, or actually on your pants. Or should your pants be the blade? I don't know. No, I guess I don't know. Maybe the legs should be the blade, right? I don't know how I would dress up as a Boker mermaid. I've been trying to get a TS-129 for months. Every time Jared posts a video about it, the cost jumps up on eBay. I finally scored one for a reasonable price. You should get a commission. Yeah, you know what? If you got one from my link from Amazon, then I will get a commission. But if you didn't get it from Amazon using my link, then I won't. But I had them on my link, the M390 versions, for $130, which is a fantastic price for M390 titanium and beautiful carbon fiber done at this level. $130 is an understatement, or underpriced. So, but that's how much they are using my link from Amazon. But like I said, Smoky, no, not, was it Smoky? Smoky Mountain Knife Works has them. Was it Smoky Mountain Knife Works? Yeah, Smoky Mountain Knife Works has them for $130 too. It is Smoky Mountain Knife Works that has the TwoSuns, right? Why am I getting a brain fart right now? Neeves, you need to get a Smoky Mountain Knife Works by issue or DLT Trading or GP Knives to give you an affiliate link. I know. I'm thinking about talking to them and saying, because what's the worst that can happen? They say no, go fuck yourself. No big deal. Blade HQ, I don't know if they even know who I am. They've sent me like, obviously I've ordered lots of stuff from them and I've wrote them little letters, but I don't know if they know who I am. So, but I should definitely ask. White Mountain Knives has the TwoSun also for $129, and they have some right now available if anybody wants to get that knife for $130 and M390. I don't know if they have the 14C 28M version, but I want to get some of those links. So if I do, I will. I don't know how to do that store thing like MC has. I think I would have to just put it in the links. Yeah, I guess I would just put links in. Blade HQ doesn't even know who Metal Complex is, if that makes you feel any better. It doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make me feel any better. Who the fuck is Metal Complex, by the way? No, I'm just joking. No, I don't care if they know who I am or not. I would hope they would want to do business if I asked them, but if they didn't and they said no, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. So, TwoSun is killing it. It is mind-blowing what they can produce at the value they have. Yeah, and I know how they do it. I know how they get them prices down, and it is definitely a great thing that they're doing for us. I don't know about the people working there, but yeah, they definitely don't cut corners, and that's what I thought. Like, the first time when I seen them on Amazon, I thought it was like one of those cloning companies. TwoSun just sounds like a fucking cloning company, doesn't it? That just sounds like a company you are not going to like. It just sounds like a name of a company that is cloning somebody else's shit. I hate the name. I really do. I wish. I don't know. I don't know what I wish, but that's what I thought. So I never messed with them for the longest time. Then I watched LTK do videos and talk and say, he said, this company is not a cloning company. They do all their own designs. Then I watched him test their materials, and all their materials were coming back legit. While in the same videos, I was watching other companies that were the same price or whatever. They were coming back all fake ass shit. Like, they were saying that it was D2 and it was really 5CR. They were saying it was M390 and it was really 8CR or something, like shit like that. So I seen TwoSun was doing it all legit. Everything was good. So I said, all right, I'm trying one. Ordered one up, and then when I got it, I was like, this can't be possible. Like, it didn't make, like, I almost thought at first before I got one, like, this, because I didn't know who LTK was. Love them knives. I didn't know who he was. So to me, it was like, this lying motherfucker. He's probably lying. He's probably getting a cut or something. And then when I got it, I was like, holy shit, he was not kidding. These things are done so good. TwoSun is so legit. They're fit. They're finished. Everything. And this is another thing that I really like about them. They may not be in the comments. You might not see them. I mean, you see them on Instagram, but they're listening. They're listening and they're watching. And you know how you can tell? Everything we are bitching about, always, they change and do. So, people were bitching about their earlier models being a little thick, not having the best blade geometry. Bam, they changed it. Everybody wants T8s. Nobody likes T6s. Bam, that's what they have. Certain things, like everybody was into front flippers. Bam. Like, they always are doing what is popular. Integrals. Everybody was wanting integrals, but nobody wanted to pay $500 for an integral, $600 for an integral. Bam. They conquered it. Like, they do what the community wants. And then their clips sucked in the beginning. Their clips sucked. Now, all their clips are awesome. At least all the newer ones. The 162 I didn't like, I'll be honest. That is one of my favorite TwoSuns. The TS162. Big knife. Beautiful blade geometry. Blade is amazing. But the clip sucks. Conspiracy much? I don't know what we're talking about. Stop spamming Marshallist. Wait. Marshallist. I don't know what that Marshallist. I bought a couple on your recommendations, and LTK is awesome. Yeah, LTK is awesome. I just sent him a knife to get tested. I sent him the Asher knife I have. So, because they haven't been tested yet, so we're going to find out what their S35VN is like, because they haven't been tested yet. So, I got my fingers crossed. Oh, Marshallist is asking us to free Hong Kong as if we were in a position to do so, right? Yeah, I feel bad for the people over there, but we're not in no position to do anything. So, I mean, that's a fucking good sign of why we need to protect our constitutional rights, ain't it? Like, in all the little things that we have that they don't. That's why we need them. It's because we don't want to turn into fucking China or any other communist country. That's how it starts. Well, it always starts with taking away the freedoms that you need to protect yourself from becoming a communist country. It never just like, it's not like they just declare communism. They don't do it like that. It starts slowly but surely. The little things, taking your guns, taking your freedoms, taking your this, taking your that. poisoning you with kung flu. We gotta protect you. Yeah, we need you to stay in the house. And what's better than a fucking going into... I mean, I'll tell you what, bank robbers really got it easy right now. That's all I gotta say. You can walk into a bank anytime and be masked up and nobody thinks twice. Oh, I don't want... luckily, I'm not monetizing this damn video. We can say whatever the fuck we want. Knowing Putton, he'll probably stay neutral and then attack both when we've been weakened. You know what? I was thinking about this the other day. The generations, right? So, like, think about World War II and World War I. 17, 18, and 19-year-olds, what they went through, right? They were fucking grown-ass men. Like, they were going through war and battling. You know, the saying goes, or I've heard this saying, hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. Hard times make strong men. It's a cycle, right? And think about some of the generation right now. I don't want to call them like not all of them, because there's a lot of people that were raised right. A lot of kids that are raised right. A lot of kids are raised tough. A lot of kids are raised to work and understand, you know, like things. But then some, man, they're raised like little vaginas, and they fucking don't know what hard work is. They don't know what anything is. And it's sad because it's like, can you imagine? Like, what's a better fucking country to go to war with? I mean, I know we have like a big military and everything, but I'm saying like in the future, right? In the future, if the people just get weaker and weaker and weaker minded and they're all just fucking worried about each other's feelings and calling each other's names and shit, how the fuck do you go to war with people like that? Like, how do you put people like that into a battlefield and expect them to win? It's not going to happen. You're going to have another army that is raised tough and is raised fucking with bloody knuckles, you know, getting dirty and, you know, doing the damn deal. And then you got these fucking little weaklings worrying about being called, you know, the wrong gender or something. Like, come on. Like, it's scary. Scary. No, she's relaxing. Today's her first day off in a while, so I'm leaving her alone. United States, if defeated, would be asking to the sacking of Rome. I don't know. Wait, United States, if defeated, would be asked to the second. I don't know what that means or how that works. When Rome fell, the Dark Ages started. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean... Yeah, I mean, and you got to imagine, there's a lot of countries that would love to see that. I don't know. See, I know lots of countries do make big money off of us. That doesn't mean they don't want, they would love for us to fail or fold or whatever. That's why I think a lot of them don't want to, there's certain presidents they would love to see win. You know, people that they can make rich to make our people poor versus the other way around. Because they don't want to lose business from America. They love getting the American money. The only problem is the Americans get poor while, you know, politicians get rich. Lucky our Constitution limits power. The president doesn't have enough power to ruin our way of life. No, but the people around him do. So, like... The president is one person, right? But then if he has people around him, you know, like that can agree, right? And they can get things, like it's about the other people too. It's not just about the president. You're right. But if you have a good president that is strong and is powerful and does fight for the people and try, just like, you know what, put it this way. Trump said it to Biden during that thing when he was saying, well, why didn't you do it, Joe? Why didn't you do it? And he said something, which was a lie, by the way. I found out this was a lie. He said, oh, because the Republicans wouldn't let it go through or something, which I found out was a lie. Most of the people at the time were Democrats. But anyways, the point is that the next thing he said was that Well, you gotta argue with them. You gotta push them, Joe. You gotta, and that's one thing I like. I want a president that's going to fight to get things into play, and for the right reasons, though, and the right things. Whatever he's got to do. Obviously, not the other way around, though. I don't want a president that's going to fight to send our jobs to China or anything like that. I'm all down with the worldwide economic collapse. I got gear. I love camping and hunting. Me too. But I'm not down for the economy collapsing or anything like that. I feel the same way too. Like I don't think I'd really have a problem, but I also like being able to work. I like knowing that you can make money and that there's money to be made. Like I've been very, very poor, dirt poor, and it's not fun. It sucks. And then, but I do like living. I've never personally went and just lived off the land, but I know I could. I've done lots of hunting in my life and lots of stuff like that for small bits of time. And I know personally I'd be fine, but it'd be a lot easier somewhere else. Like here where I'm living now, you're not able to just live off the land here. You need work. You have to have work. Jared can't really do as well here. What? Jared can't really do as well here. I don't know what that means. Chill with the caps, dude. 200 million people trying to do the same thing. Bad. Nationalism is the future. It'd be very, very bad. I'd say. Uh, Alex Jones and Kanye on the Republican ballot for 2024. That'd be some funny ass shit. Modern life is so fragile, people don't understand just how delicate our system is. Even the poorest people in America eat better than 90% of the world population going back thousands of years. So true. People do not realize how good they have it. That's why it hurts my, not really, but it makes me sick to my stomach that when people hate this country and they talk about how fucking bad and racist and this and that, blah, 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 this country is, it disgusts me. We are in the best country on the planet. And if you don't fucking like it, you can leave, right? You don't have to fucking stay here. Is you are in the best country, and I doubt most people wouldn't leave, because it's just a fact. And like 25 Tonight said, you can be poor in the United States of America, and you're still doing better off than most other countries. People don't even know what poor is here. Like even when I say I've been poor, like fucking that's nothing compared to some other people's poor. And I can tell you some scary fucking stories about being poor. You guys probably would hate me. Sweden is pretty cool to move to if you don't like America. You'd be giving up warm summers, though. Yeah, there's a few countries that, are a lot like here, but I still think, though, there's still going to be freedoms that we have that a lot of countries don't have. Like, there's certain countries, like, say, I don't know, Canada, right? Canada's cool. They don't have freedom of speech. So like you can actually be fined for talking shit about the president or whatever. Like I like having my freedoms. And other countries, vice versa. I like America. I think America's a damn good country. Life is good isn't a given and won't maintain this level of lavishness without rapidly defending our way of life and a certain deal of nationalism. I don't remember who it was. I was listening to somebody the other day and they were talking about kind of like what's happening right now and talking about like people of power, right? So when people of power and have control, they don't want to let it go. So the people that want the power back, like say us, right? We'll that are willing to do whatever they can to keep their freedoms or get power back to the country, whatever. You're willing to do anything, but so are they. So, and it's kind of like cutthroat right now where they're willing to say and do anything to stay in power. So you basically got to look at who they don't want in like like in the seat basically, because whoever they don't want is who's going to hurt them the most. So, and you see who they're like, the media and lots of things they're hurting the most, right? Who they're protecting the most and who they're hurting the most. So one is going to line their pockets and the other one is going to help the country more. And I truly believe that. I think that's why like you have Twitter blocking shit and you got people being shadow banned and stuff like that. Fill that empty backdrop over your right shoulder. Right here, yeah. No, see, the thing is that before we had and we're gonna put it back. Me and Kara were actually talking about it earlier. We almost did it for this live. I gotta cock it back this way because you're supposed to only see from here over. Normally we're set like in the corner like this, and you're normally like this, but it's not like that right now. So I'm gonna I'll turn the table probably tomorrow or next day or something. Put an American flag. I would. Fuck yeah. I want to get an American flag. I actually said that to Kara. I said I want a damn American flag up here. And then I started like bitching, like, why the fuck don't I have American flag back here? It was really actually aggravating me. I agree. Oh, damn. Okay, let me go back. Oops, my bad. Smokies. I have a Canadian friend who I joke with all the time about him being Canadian. People of power, the 1%, they need to be healed. There is Robespierre when you need help. Do not put a Canadian flag unless you want to point at it and blame it for stuff. You see this one? This is the good one. You see this one? That's whose fault it is. No, I will definitely get a flag. You know what? I actually have one. It's down at my mom's, a real legit one. It's big though. It's big. I've had a few of them. When my brother died, I got his too because he had a couple of them, and we were gonna do something with it. But man, it might be too big. I might have to get a smaller one because that one would pretty much cover this whole fucking thing. But it's a nice one though. They're really expensive. They're not cheap. A real American flag is like when I that one I think was like $800. So, but it's a legit flag. Like not like one of those thin ones that people hang on the walls. That's probably what I'll have to get, or like a painted sign or something. But I do have a legit real one. Just a couple hours from here though. Are you secretly Canadian? Your mom has a legit Canadian flag. Whose mom? Not my mom. So what's up with the fixed blades lately? Well, I haven't had time to test them out or anything yet. I'm on the Stonefish right now from Mike Emler. So this one will be coming first because I got to get his knives back to him. Then I'm going to, because I have a lot of reviews coming up. A ton of reviews. So excuse me, I don't like to say do 3 knives at once. I like to do a legit review. When I do a review, it's because I've legitly carried and tried and checked it out. Unless if I'm not allowed to. If I'm not allowed to, then that's different. Then I'll just hold on to it. Like when I come home from work, I put it in my pocket and I'll carry it around the house. But when it comes to doing a legit review that I say I tried, I tested, I sharpened, whatever, I spend time with it, and I don't like to do the review before I've actually done all of that. I don't necessarily have to sharpen it if I've sharpened others in the past, then I kind of know. Sometimes I like to though because it like lets me know like were they similar. But I'm gonna get to the testing of the fixed blades. Timbo said I can use any one of his knives, and most of the fixed blades, most of the fixed blades came from Timbo, which they are all gorgeous, gorgeous blades. I mean, these things are amazing. I live in Texas. Can carry a sword if I want. You're damn lucky. Damn lucky. That's where I would personally love to move to, is Texas. Anyone know if the Chavez 229 worth it or is it hype? It is great. I've tried every one of them. I've tried the Street, I've tried 229, I even tried customized versions. They were all amazing. Now, this was one thing I noticed though, was okay, so one of them that I tried, the person weakened the detent a little bit. That one had the best action out of all of them. The other ones, hey, thank you. Hey, thank you, Odd Savage. I appreciate that, man. Much love. Thank you, thank you. Happy Halloween. Thank you very much. I like that little hiya sign. But the detent was extremely strong. Okay, so I had the flipper one, the little Warncliffe one. That one was awesome too. The ergos weren't the best on that though. That clip is really big, but the 229 was okay. It was good. The detent though is very strong. Now the one that had the weaker detent had the better action in my opinion, but you can do that yourself. It is an amazing knife though. It's a damn good knife. Great blade geometry. It's a thick blade stock, but it's a nice thin hollow grind, so it's very nice. And then they got that new one. What the heck is it called? Slicey Dicey just did a review on it. I forget what it was called. Atmos. The Kershaw Atmos. It's a good knife. Really good knife. It's got great action. It's cheap too, so good budget. Show me that Battle Black XM18. I miss looking at her. Oh. This one? Not this one are you talking? You're not talking about this one, are you? I'm going to do a video possibly tomorrow. I'm not sure because I got to do that other work sharp video. But about the difference between the Teflon action and the bearing action. So I've been like feeling them and checking them out and like trying to figure out, you know, which one I like better, or not like better, but the differences, because it has nothing to do with personal like or anything like that, just the differences in the action. Ooh, that's my fault. But just the differences in like the drop, you know, the middle finger flick, you know, just the action period and what the differences are. And I'm not going to spill the beans in this video because then you guys won't watch my damn video. Finally finished work. Awesome. Get the hell out of work. At some point you plan on owning one. I'm not sure which one. Idaho is a hidden gem. Unfortunately, California has realized this too, and the cost of living is so affordable. They're moving here in droves. They're doing that to Texas too. Oh man, realty in California is gonna be all over the place because everybody's leaving. People aren't wanting the bullshit. People are wanting. They're sick of. I think the taxes are one thing. That's just one thing though. Taxes is insane there. But your freedoms are another thing. People like their freedoms. I think people want to have their freedoms back. I think people are sick of lockdowns. People are sick of masks. I think people are fucking sick of this shit across the board. And I'm sick of it. Idaho is beautiful. I don't think I've been to Idaho, but I would love to. Stacy says Idaho is beautiful. Kentucky is more beautiful. Ooh, I have been to Kentucky. No clue of what Idaho is like. I'm starting to think I don't know what Idaho is like either. I've been to North Carolina though. North Carolina is where a lot of where my friends moved to. I've been to North Carolina. I went to jail in North Carolina. Wasn't a good time. It was not a good time. It was, I'll tell you what, fucking, so I got arrested for some dumbass shit, for an expired license. Expired. But since I'm from here, down there, I'm a flight risk. So they don't just write you a ticket. You gotta go to jail. Somebody in the car with me was busted with weed too. So I wound up catching that charge for about 10 minutes. But it didn't really matter because to me, I was like, man, I'm going to get out of this. It's not a big deal. I can sign myself out or just pay. No. They don't take 10% when you're on flight risk. So you got to pay the whole thing. So like here, if I got arrested and say if it was $10,000. That means I got to pay $1,000. You got to pay 10%. Um, or sorry, $100. Anyways, the point is that you couldn't do that there. You got to pay the whole thing. So, and that there where I got arrested was a tourist trap. That's what they call it, a tourist trap. It's literally in a spot that you basically have like to go to it. You're gonna be from out of state. It's literally right in the area going into North Carolina that's connected to other states. So everybody's from out of state, everybody, and they pull over everybody, and basically just they find something because they want you. They get money, and so I get arrested. They take me to jail, and the jail is it looks like a house. It literally looks. You know what it looked like? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one. That's what it looked like. The house. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? All the jails I've been to are brick fucking buildings. You know, this is a house. Well, I didn't know like it was they had cells and everything in there, so they bring me in there. Anyways, it's just crazy the whole time, like what they were doing with me and everything. Well, then when I wound up getting locked up, they threw me in a 10-man cell, a 10 or 12-man cell with like 18 dudes. Like, so this place is packed. You're sleeping on the floor. People are sleeping in the shower. It's disgusting. And everybody in there has been in there for a long time. I talked to this one dude, and I was like, man, how long you been in here? And he was like, 3 months. I said, what are you in here for? A 1/4 ounce of weed. My jaw dropped. Like, what? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Because he was from out of state, so he had to pay the whole thing. And it was just so crazy to me. And everybody in there was like, every time I come here, I go to jail. It's a tourist trap. Even the cop was like, you come on vacation, leave on probation. And it was so crazy. And then I found out because I wound up getting a bail bondsman. And I wound up getting out, though. I did get out. Not right away. It was like overnight. And I could smoke. That was another cool thing. So that was a blessing in disguise that I was able to smoke. But I wound up getting out the next day and then went back there months later to go to court because I didn't want to jump court, right? And the bail bondsman screwed me over. Or no, sorry, not the bail bondsman. The bail bondsman was fine. But my lawyer, I wound up getting a lawyer there. And I didn't find out till later that the lawyer has like this inside deal with the bail bondsman and shit like that. So the bail bondsman's the ones that hooked, was the one that hooked me up with the lawyer. Basically, the lawyer took off with my money, didn't show up to court, and I wound up talking to him later, and then he told me I had a warrant. So I was like, well, fuck North Carolina, guess I'm not going back. Well, then I guess they wound up, I think, like, because it was just for some petty bullshit. It was for a fucking expired license. I think like a year later or something, they threw it out. Like, maybe they knew I wasn't coming back. Maybe the time was up because I think it's like 7 years. If you don't go back, they, just gets thrown out. So that could have happened too. But yeah, so I had a warrant down there for a little while, for a few years, I think, but they wound up getting thrown out after a while. Keep your Illinois. Been to Chicago too. Nope. Don't. Oh, I gotta read what you guys are all talking about. I've been talking too damn long. Every place has its own beauty, even dirty ass Chicago. Very true. Love Texas more. The outdoors are really pristine and highly protected. Lots of mountain towns and forest. Freedom. Been to Chicago too. Nope. Don't agree. Stacy says, keep your Illinois. Bree says, nope, I gave Illinois away 20 years ago. Breeze is in Wisconsin, which is worlds, like, even though they're right there, once you get past a certain point, they're two different worlds. New Mexico is the most beautiful state. Utah is second. Virginia is also gorgeous. I live in Alabama. Just ugly. I've been to Alabama. I've been to Mexico, but not New Mexico. Never been to Utah. I don't know if I've been to Virginia. I don't think no, I've never been to Virginia, so can't speak on them. I've been to Alabama though. I live in Southern Illinois a long time ago. Smelled like oil pumps half the time. There's a lot of where those not I guess factories, but there's a lot of plants in Southern Illinois, or especially heading to Southern Illinois. Like once you get past like Chicago, like my mom, she lives. It's not really Southern Illinois. We call it Southern Illinois, but it's really like I don't know, fucking 40 minutes away from Chicago or something, an hour away from Chicago. Anyways, doesn't matter. But all the way to her house, it's all factories and shit. So, yeah, it's, and even around her, like in that area, it's all like, not just factories, I'm sorry, not factories, but plants, you know, like, I don't know what type of plants, but some type of plants, and you can see the smoke coming out of them and shit. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one, had one of my favorite actresses in it, Jordana Brewster. When I say the new one, they might have came out with another new one since then. Because did Rob Zombie do one? I don't know. The one I'm talking about is the one that was done a few years ago. So, yeah, the one with the guy in the wheelchair. That's the one I was talking about. North Carolina turned into North Florida. Yuck. I don't know if that means, but I'm guessing. First time sharpening a knife, wait, hold on a second. First time sharpening a knife, I think rat with multiple microchips and D2 steel was the wrong steel to start sharpening. But you know, let me just say this. Don't do a fucking gas station knife. That is the hardest shit to do. The best steel to start off with is a good budget steel. HCR, 440C, that's a great steel. Even D2 is a good steel to start off with. But don't do anything less than HCR. Don't do stainless. Like if it's a stainless, Pakistan stainless, or just stainless, or mystery stainless, don't do that shit. Because they're not even heat treated. They're really not. It's shit. And it'll be harder than S110V to sharpen, I promise you. I've tried to sharpen a few of them. That's the worst, is when you try to sharpen a steel with a bad heat treat. Not a poor heat treat, a bad heat treat, meaning everything went wrong. It just sucks. You can't get an edge. You just can't. Every time you get an edge, it goes away like that. Different types of stressors. In town, you don't have to plan shopping and things as much, but more crowds and waiting. More traffic, but more access to stuff. Definitely more access. Something in OS 8 is perfect for beginners. Yes, OS 8 is another fantastic one to learn on. Everybody wants stuff. Stuff. That one pink hair dude. What's up, pink hair dude? We getting that extra hour tonight, so we going. Oh shit. 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. Damn, we've been going. How about this? We'll go for another 8 minutes till 10 o'clock, since it's Halloween and all. So what is that? 8 more minutes, guys. 8 more minutes. It's me, Jelly Jerry. What's up, Jelly Jerry? We were actually talking about you earlier because I was talking about the Kubi knife that just dropped that LTK did a video on. Amazing knife. I want to get it. I think it's $165. The only thing I think right now is the problem is that I think as of right now it hasn't dropped in the United States yet. Don't quote me on that. Meaning that if you order it, it might take a couple weeks. But I'm not positive. But amazing knife. So it looks like. And LTK said it was the best one that he's tried yet. And when he said that, he got me very interested. Remember, I've been interested since I seen your designs of it. You know, I follow you on Instagram. So I've been checking that thing out for a little while and knowing that Kubi was going to make it. And Kubi does good knives. I like Kubi. I've been messing with Kubi for a while now. Whoa, it's $137 if you use the discount code. So, I'm going to get it. I'm definitely going to try to get it. The one thing, it's a little heavy for some people, but I feel like those some people Probably won't buy it, wouldn't buy it anyways. Most people don't care about that weight. That weight doesn't sound bad to me at all. Like this ZT probably weighs the same amount. I don't mind a little bit of weight, but the knife looks amazing. The one thing I'm kind of wondering is about the blade geometry. I don't know what it's like. He didn't really talk about it. He kept calling it a bruiser and usually, or something like that. I forget the words he used. But usually when he uses those words, he usually means it's pretty thick behind the edge or a little thick. It didn't look really thick though. And a couple Kubis I've tried were a little thick behind the edge. But then I've tried other ones that were fantastic. Like really good behind the edge. So I'm just going to hope for the best. The blade thickness is around 3 millimeters. See, I'm talking about the edge right here. So 3 millimeters is a good blade stock thickness, but what was, I'm trying to think right now. The last Kubi I reviewed, I forget what it was behind the edge. I think it was 18 thousandths behind the edge, which I thought was fantastic. The Eris was a little bit thicker. It was like 22 thousandths behind the edge. Problem was is it didn't have very far. Your knife, though, on the other hand, has a tall grind. Has a nice tall grind, which is what I like. So even if it's 20 thousandths, having a tall grind, it should make it still a good cutter. And, well, LTK's in here. So we were just talking about him. Happy Halloween. Love them knives, LTK. Hopefully, I'm sure everybody subscribed to him. He's been in the business far longer than I have, and I bow to you, brother, because I definitely got into this business because of channels like yourself. But we were just talking about Jelly Jerry's knife, the design you just reviewed. I think you posted it yesterday? Yeah, it was last night or yesterday, whatever. That Kubi model by Jelly Jerry Design. I'm most likely going to get it because of your review. I've been checking it out for a while. Looks like an amazing knife. He said 0.02 millimeters or 0.0078 inches, not 3 millimeters. My dude, oh, you're talking about, see, I'm looking at, when I see that, yeah, I said millimeters, so I seen the mm. So you're talking about 0.2, so like 20 thousandths, you're saying? LTK is a legend. Yes, he's definitely a legend in this community. The Atlas. That's the name of it. The Atlas. No, he said 0.2 negative 0.2 to 0.3 millimeters, basically 9 to 12. Oh, 9 to 12,000. See, I don't know them damn measurements. When I do it, or when I say it, that's why I just say thousandths or whatever. I don't, I'm not good at reading them when they're written down. So, forgive me, fellas and ladies and gents. I don't know everything, right? So that's what you guys are here for. You guys give a brother a hand. But 9 to 12 thousandths is amazing. That's fantastic. I love it. Now I'm definitely going to get it. I don't know how long it'll take because every Kubi knife I've tried was all fast, like very fast. They're usually here in 2 to 3 days, but I heard LTK say that they don't have them yet here, meaning they're going to probably come from China. Not a big deal. I don't mind waiting a couple weeks, but I don't know how long they would take. I know how long TwoSuns take, so I'm guessing it'll be around the same time, 2 to 3 weeks. I didn't know that I had to check the calipers. Ha ha ha. Okay, see? Now I don't feel so bad. My calipers are manual, so I don't use the digital ones. I need to get a digital set because that would be a lot easier. I use a manual set, which is very accurate because it's a manual set, but it'd be much easier to use a digital set. Oh, they're coming to the U.S. very soon, so no worries. But I can still order one now. I'll probably be here before they get to the United. They'll probably be here at the same time, right? Or disliked if you're Canadian. Yes, everybody drop a like if you like the video. We are going to get out of here in just a minute. We've been up here for a long time, and I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me tonight on Halloween. I'm sure you guys could have been at way more enjoyable places, but you guys chose to hang out with me, which is very, very awesome. No, really? Who is Jelly Jerry? That is the man in the pink hair. If you look at the little thingamajigger. But my favorite Jelly Jerry design right now is the TwoSun TS223, which I do own, but I have it loaned out to somebody, Shaker MT. So he's had it for a long time too. He'll get it back to me when he gets it back to me. No big deal. But yeah, that is a fantastic design and knife. Love, love, love that knife. I would want to be in Yogi Bears. Don't know what that means. These streams are always great. Thanks, Floridian. I definitely have a lot of fun with them. And you know what? We had no buffering. Not one buffer. And we've been on here for over 2 hours now. We've been on here for 2.5 hours. Can you fucking believe that? It's insane. Not one buffer. That is amazing. I love it. And I like doing these. And since I haven't been monetizing the last 3 or 4 of them, it's made it where, like, I don't have to worry about what I talk about or say. But 2, it gives people that watch them later, if they watch them, they're not going to run into 35 ads, and they can just watch it and enjoy it. Which the reason why I want to do that is because I feel like even if somebody was enjoying themselves, they might not even get to the point of enjoying the conversation or the talk because they'll see so many ads. Or they'll hit one ad and they'll be like, I don't even care, and it's not worth it, right? So I feel like if I post a whole bunch of them, for like the next couple weeks or whatever, not monetized, people can get used to them, and then I can suck them in, and then I'll go back to monetizing. I'm just fucking around. But no, I'm doing it because because then people might come and actually join the live if they actually watch it, on the side. I'm just fucking around when I said that other part. Pink hair, dude. Lavender pants, coincidence? I think not. Man, I really hope Illinois doesn't get locked back down. I heard from 3 people that they were talking about it. I don't know if we are or not. You got some badass blades in recently. What's your favorite? Hold Spectre. Hey, man. You can't be coming out with the tough questions, man. This isn't a knife channel, man. This one right here. I had to say the Shuro. I was going to do a video on it, so now you just ruined the video. Thanks, Ryan. I will say, I love this Holt Spectre. And I personally like titanium more than carbon fiber. But this thing has the titanium liner, so it's titanium also. But I mean on the outside, like on the hand. But this is like a textured carbon fiber. You can hear it. So it's textured. Then the ergos are so good. This thing has got good ergos. Don't get me wrong. It's got good ergos. Not like this. This thing is possibly the most comfortable knife I've ever held. That's a strong possibility. Definitely top 3. Definitely top 3. So good in the hand. This one's good in the hand, but it's thinner. It doesn't have the contouring. It has like this spot right here that's contoured, but then it goes back to flat. This one just has the perfect depth and thickness for your hand. This one's action it's better, I guess. You could say but when you're talking about a Shuro, like, this is some of the best action ever, right? I mean, it just is. The detent is so good. It's so crisp. It's on multi-row ceramic bearings. I mean, this thing's detent and access to the lock bar is so good. I mean, it's just super smooth. This thing has the detent nub, though, which it has a kick. So it's a little different. And that's why put it this way. Right now I'm saying that. But if I had these both for 6 months, I could possibly go back to this and say that I like the action better on this one. Just because I've only had a couple knives with the detent nub, I'm saying that this one has a little bit better action. Because it has that little kick, man. And there's basically, like, you never hit a detent ball. Like, so when I unlock this, there's the detent ball. It's super early, so you practically never hit it. This one, you can't hit it because it doesn't exist. So as soon as it's unlocked, it's already passed. So, I mean, there's just little details. But they're both fantastic. They're both amazing, amazing knives. Now, if you ask me, because you know what? How much is a Holt Spectre? I haven't even looked it up. How much is a Holt Spectre? I know this one's about $900. I think this is $899. I have another one too. Oh, I have the Hatian. I definitely like the bigger Shiro better. Shiros are like the crystal knives of bearing knives, precision, smoothness, and quality. I agree. And you know what, man? Using this thing, it cuts, man. And I know a lot of it has to do with the ergos, because when you're comfortable, cuts are just so much better. You know, it's like you could have the thinnest ground knife that feels like crap in the hand, and it's not gonna feel like it's cutting for shit, just because you don't have the leverage. But when you get good blade geometry coupled with good ergos, man, so much better. $750 to $1650, depending on the variant of the Holt Spectre. 2% markup on secondary. Ooh, I don't know what a Shiro is on the secondary market. Scared to look. Oh, something might be for sale. That's a joke. I'm fucking around. I wouldn't sell that thing. I finally found a knife that is so close to the most perfect knife to me. I mean, it's damn close. Damn close. That's such a good knife. That's why we love Jared. Listen to the passion. Thanks, Don Bond. Shiro is under the table on secondary. Oh, okay. Fantastic. That's kind of. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's the way it should be, because I'm not gonna say that, because some knives I think do deserve to be higher than the table price, because the limited, like the limited quantity, how hard they are to get, blah blah blah. So the knives that do go up in price on the secondary, I can't say that I blame anybody for making some money on a knife that they don't want to get rid of, or that they want to use money for another knife on that was hard to get, or that they had to, fight to get to in the first place. Because there are knives like that. Come on, Jilly, please make a bally. It's a free market. It's not robbery. Damn right. You don't have to buy it, right? If you don't like the price, don't buy the motherfucker. That's why I never bitch about Spyderco's markups. I just wouldn't buy it. Like, people can try to sell a $150 knife for $500 or $400 all day. That doesn't mean I want to buy it or have to buy it. And if you really want that knife bad enough, go and buy it. You're going to buy it. I agree, Spirited. But it seems like they do more often than some handmade customs. Restricted profits. All right, guys. We are well past my time that I said. I love all you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for so damn long. Literally for over 2.5 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Happy Halloween to everybody. Thank you for the donations. And what does that say? Thanks for the live. Yes, she'll be here on the next one, hopefully. Just give her a little break. Thank y'all. Love you guys. Peace. One more look at that Spectre. Beautiful sound.